This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Tri-Klops, evil and sees everything figure from their cartoon collection, based on the Filmation cartoon from the 80s. As we spin this around, we see on the back the little notation that, as seen on The Royal Cousin, includes comic book, modernizing and celebrating the original 80s Masters of the Universe animated series. Honestly, I kind of wish they wouldn't put these things on here. Also looks like they got the prototype Stridor in the back too. Another quick note about the artwork here. I like how they had to have him holding the rock softener with one hand, even to the point where it looks like it's designed a bit differently, just so they could show off the rest of the body of the figure in the artwork. Just amuses me. We can turn visor for a different eye to spy for Skeletor. That is some really awkward wording. And he can hold the rock softener, which was a device that Skeletor tried to use to weaken the walls of Castle Grayskull, or I think more specifically the drawbridge door for Castle Grayskull in order to get in. As part of this wave where they went to doing 3 figures instead of 4, because, you know, we need to have 2 of at least one of those figures so we can shelf warm. Good job, Mattel. Good job. We have Man-E-Faces, the heroic human robot monster, Hordak, the ruthless leader of the evil horde, and Tri-Klops, evil and sees everything. Though I just said that a moment ago. Let's go ahead and open this sucker up. I just love when that happens. He literally looks like He-Man from the waist down. Actually, is that a loincloth belt from the Origins line? No, it's actually different. Huh. That's interesting. We have his little sheet that shows us the different parts that come off. And we have the comic book, Slime Lord, Part 2 of the Horde Invasion. Both Eternia and Etheria lie in peril as Hordak, more powerful than ever, exerts his dominion. The Crystal Castle with She-Ra and her allies are besieged by the Dark Lord's armies. Before his consolidation of power for a torturous Eternia, Hordak was exiled to Despondos, a demonic, hell-ridden plane. Can I just note here that actually I thought Etheria was supposed to be in the dimension of Despondos? On Hordak's homeworld of Horde Prime, for their backing, he promised Eternia. Okay, that doesn't make any sense either. It should be something like, on Hordak's homeworld, he asked Horde Prime for their backing. I don't understand what he's trying to say here. Like, okay, in Filmation, Horde Prime is an actual individual who's in control. So I don't understand. The sentence is just poorly written and sounds like they don't know what they're talking about. Dark Lords, free me and I shall give you the ultimate prize, Eternia. Escape was nigh impossible until he encountered the Overseers, ancient beings who opened the dark dimension, allowing his return for a price. So we got some new created characters there. With Etheria besieged and the causeway linking the worlds jammed, Hordak is now free to turn his gaze to his more vaulted desire. Whoa, Night Stalker, calm down. It's just a tide of fog. Is it?
You know, even on Eternia, I don't think the fog is green and solid.
Night Stalker, come back!
Come on! Attack! Fighting the Tri! You have to care for me!
Masters, beware. While Hordak is laying siege to Etheria, he has a nightmare invasion force which has arrived on our heels. We shall be ready. To the battlements of Grayskull. Oh, this artwork again. Bring forth my latest guinea pig. Your wish is my command. No, Lord Hordak, spare me. Sploosh. Rise, my slimy three-eyed warrior. We've much to do. Much more work is needed. All is quiet in the idling glade until Maws of Doom open. dredging forth from the recesses of Despondos and the Fright Zone, an endless march of ghouls, demons, and beasts, the Nightmare Legion, the Horde Wraiths. That's a nice throwback to 2000. Across the villages of Eternia, the Nightmare Legion captures innocent civilians for their vats in the Fright Zone. I actually recognize some of those characters. There are worse fates than death, one of which can be found in the slime pits. That's just it. I don't see anyone or anything approaching. Masters! What? Wait a minute. What the hell? Okay, hold on. I gotta read this differently. Masters! What do you see? That's just it. I don't see anyone or anything approaching. Little did He-Man and the Masters realize that it isn't Grayskull that Hordak craves to conquer most. Snake Mountain, stronghold of Skeletor, is Hordak's true ambition. There he will capture his greatest trophy. Forward, my slime horde, vengeance shall be mine. To be continued. Shadow Weaver's looking kind of sexy there, not gonna lie. And on the back we have Man-E-Faces, the heroic human robot monster, Hordak, the ruthless leader of the evil horde, and Triklops, the evil and sees everything. So this played no part in that comic at all. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our Triklops. So the head does spin. And there is like something inside there that is allowing it to kind of, for lack of better phrasing, lock in place at each eye. But it also means you can't just spin it. Well, I think you could probably pop the visor off if you heated him up. I don't think I can do that here, and I don't think I want to because it might break. But that does seem to be a possibility with it. His head is on a ball joint, so you can move it all around. His arm lifts up and down. You can spin it. As you can see, the arm does catch on his harness, and while the plastic is soft, it kind of moves. It does interfere, and just looks kind of awful when you do it. We have the single joint in the elbow, which gives us a little better than what we get in the Origins line, but not much for the bend. The bracers are the plain ones. We can spin his wrist into 360 and hinge the hand in and out. Mentioned before, he does spin at the waist. He can kick up so far. Da, 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 da. Never mind. Kick back a little bit. We can bend at the knee at about 90. Again, I think they do have a little more of a bend to them than what we get in Origins, just because of the design. There is, of course, the spin at the knee because of the joint. We have the standard boot cut. And we have a hinge going up and down, and we can spin it all around. And I find it kind of weird that, when you look at it, he's got the Barbarian boot bottoms, but then he's got the smooth boot tops. So that just kind of seems a bit weird to me. And he doesn't come with any weapons. He does not have a spot to hold his weapon on his backpack like the previous Triklops did. He just comes with the rock softener. It's kind of too bad they didn't give us an effective stick on here, but at the same time, I know that wouldn't work very well. Overall, as far as the cartoon collection goes, the figure looks great. Once again, we get kind of like a little device that will probably be okay in your display, but no weapons, which seems to be a theme with a lot of these. But hey. I think I like the original Trapjaw. I think I like the original Triklops better than this, though, if I had to choose between the two of them. Just because, overall, I think this guy's kind of boring looking. And while as you may note in Filmation, the difference in his eyes are the shape, because we have the triangle, square, and circle, with the really awkward looking eyelid. And on the original version of Tri-Klops, which I don't have with me right now, he actually just had like different eye shapes and colors, but they still look like eyes. If you understand what I mean. But again, I think the reason why Filmation did that was because it was easier to make them look different and note it that they moved around. And I think Filmation had them have different powers, but as always with like these old cartoons, that also doesn't necessarily mean that they were consistently the same powers in the different eyes. So go ahead and tell me what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed watching this, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, blah, blah, blah. Smash the like button, or in this case, we can go with soften that like button, wink, wink. And thanks for watching. Peace and love.